Welcome. In this course, I will be specifically talking about flipping NFTs. Flipping an NFT is basically selling the NFT for a higher price than you paid for. And then there are different methods and strategies for flipping NFTs, such as bidding on rarity, bidding on special trades, sniping, reveal sniping, auto purchasing, and so on. I'm not really interested in the history of NFTs or how the blockchain works. I'm not saying that they are not important, but they are not the topics we will be talking about in this course. We are also not going to go into the art part. We will be only focused on flipping NFTs for a profit. In most of the videos, I am going to be using our own software that we have developed specifically for NFTs. However, you don't have to worry. I'm going to be focusing on the free utilities so you guys can go ahead and enjoy it without making any payment. Throughout the course, I will be showing you some real-time flips so that you can go ahead and find out the method that best suits for your strategies. I'm going to explain things in detail as much as I can. However, this course is not for absolute beginners. In any way, if you are more interested in the decision-making process, the analytical analysis, and graphs and charts including the historical price movements, how the demand and supply increases or decreases the floor price, how floor strength and the holder analysis affect the future of a project, you are in the right course. This course contains more analytical knowledge compared to theoretical, so if you are interested in the decision-making process based on data, let's start. I'm going to give you a real-time example to show you how things actually work in the world of NFTs. So, for instance, this is VeeFriends. This is one of the kind of bigger collections. It is the Gary V's collection, who is a big name in the NFT space. Anyway, let's go back to the topic. So, this little crap or whatever it is right now being sold for a little bit above 9 Ethereum, and it is actually the cheapest one. This is called the floor price, and the floor price is actually the price of the cheapest NFT that is being listed. So, alright, OpenSea is sometimes not functioning, or it's back now. So, what we see here is it was purchased for 10 Ethereum, and now it is being sold for, oh no, it got sold for 8.1 Ethereum, and now it is being sold for 9 Ethereum. So I would say probably this collection had a higher floor price at some point, somewhere around here, and then its floor price dropped a little bit, so it got sold for 8 Ethereum, and now probably it picked up a little bit again. We are going to be focusing on the floor price movements, and I'm actually going to show you how to analyze them super fast. So don't worry about them for now. However, let's worry about if I would buy this NFT right now for 9.09 Ethereum, and if I resell it for, let's say, 9.5 Ethereum, it sounds like I will be making money, right? Actually, I would say we will be losing money. Here is why. Alright, so I'm going to show you a profit calculator tool. It is our tool and it's 100% for free. You can use it anytime. You don't have to connect your wallet or anything. What you gotta do is, let's check for VeeFriends. Here you see the collection royalty, which is 10%. It means that they are having a commission of 10%. And guess what? OpenSea, the marketplace, is also taking a commission of 2.5%. And when you are buying it, you are paying gas. Right now, the gas is actually quite expensive. So you are paying 0.03 Ethereum for the gas as well. So if we buy this for 0.09, and if we resell it on the current floor price, guess what? We will be losing more than 1 Ethereum. What happens if we sell it for 9.5? We will still be losing money, or Ethereum, whatever you call it. If we sell it for 10, we are still in loss. So in order to make some money, we would probably have to go up to 0.05, 0.045, I would say. Yeah, around there. You see, it is almost 1.5 Ethereum. And right now the price of Ethereum is like 2.9K. Maybe let's say it is 3 to simplify it. It means that if you buy it and sell it at the same price, you will be losing something like $4,500 or maybe even $5,000. This is what I was talking about, the analytical point of view. So many people, they don't know that there is the collection royalty. They don't know there is a OpenSea services fee. And it is kind of hard to make this calculation yourself if you are not familiar with the terminology and the fields here. But yeah, now at least you learned it and you can use this profitability calculator 100% for free. And guess what happened? The gas just changed. So this is dynamic. The system will actually change this part whenever there is a change in the gas price. Gas is actually the money you pay for miners when you are making a transaction, like buying them. I'm not really going to go into the details of how blockchain works, but at least you have to know your calculations. So if you want to verify the numbers here, you can just go to this collection, hit on buy now. Oh, I have to log into my MetaMask, just a second. And then the collection is going to, the OpenSea is actually going to show you the creator fees. It was called royalty, then they changed it to creator fees. So, okay, we learned about the royalty and the probability calculation, but also what did we learn? We learned that if a collection has higher royalty, it is going to be harder for us to make money on it, right? So if this collection had, let's say, 0 royalty, and there are many collections with 0% royalty, then actually we wouldn't have to sell it for 10.45 for the break-even. Then even if we had sold it for something like 9.5, we still would have been making money. And actually, many of the big collections have small royalty percentages. Like this one had 10%. However, if you go for Bored Ape Yacht Club, which is 152 Ethereum, which is huge, they only charge you 2.5. There is Meebits that charges you 0. So it depends on the collection. But there are also the other stuff that are going to charge you, like I think Doodles, they charge like 6% or 5%. So it really depends. However, this is actually this is extremely important that you make this calculation before you decide on buying or selling NFTs from that collection. Next up, we are going to be talking about the charts and graphs and how the fluctuations in the metrics actually affect our decisions. Anyway, if you have any questions, by the way, feel free to hop into our Discord. This is NFTinit. We also own the software, but I'm not going to be promoting anything on the software in these videos. I might show you a couple tricks, but I'm mainly going to be focusing on 100% free site. All right, let's talk about how to find collections before we analyze them. Again, the stuff I'm going to show you on NFTinit.com is going to be 100% for free. Maybe in the last videos I will show you a couple of premium stuff, but that's going to be it. What we talked about in the previous video was about the royalties, right? So maybe it is better for us to search for collections that has lower royalty percentages. On OpenSea, you can go to the stats and rankings. However, it is not going to show you the royalty, or there is no filters. You can't do it really. What we did here is actually we converted it to a seller point of view. So it's like, I don't know if you guys ever sold on Amazon or on any marketplace, but usually sellers, they call it product research. So I called it research again. And here is the royalty filter, right? So I'm only interested in NFT collections, let's assume, that has up to 5% royalty. All right, let's hit apply filters after we enter 5 here. So right now, the system filtered out the results that has maximum of 5%. So these guys actually have been pumping a lot. I'm not going to go to the analysis just yet. But this might be a good indication of how to find NFTs. And you know what? That is not the only metric I'm looking for. So, ideally, in an NFT collection, I wouldn't want a minority of people have the majority of the collection, right? Imagine there is like 10,000 of supply in this collection, and then 10 people has 9,000 of them. It makes it very open to manipulation, right? They can list them whenever they want. They can control the price. So maybe we should play around with the filters a little bit. Maybe I want the collection to have at least, let's say, 3,000 assets. Means that I want the collection to have 3,000 NFTs. And then I want at least 2,000 holders, unique holders in that collection. And maybe I don't have so much budget. I'm just starting out. So I want the floor price to be a maximum of 1.5 Ethereum, which is actually quite big. And I want the collection to have some movement. So I want it to have sold at least 25 in the last 24 hours. Actually, you know, these are not set on stone. Like there are many good collections that has 10% royalty and they are pumping so hard. So it's not like if a collection has higher than 5%, it's going to be super bad. It's just you know, my indicators. You can play around with them. Probably you will come up with your own. So you know what? Let's apply filters. You see, this thing came up. So this one, I have no idea about it, but the system says that it is on fire right now. It has a supply of 10,000. Unique holders are above 6,000. Royalty is 5%. Floor is 0.13. All the metrics are matching. 1 day volume is quite big actually. It is almost 300 Ethereum. Yeah. In the next video, I'm just going to go in this collection and I'm going to look for other metrics. I'm going to see if there are any red flags or if it is having good indications about the floor price. All right, now let's go into this collection and I'm going to explain this page in a bit in the next video probably. But let's go to the analysis part. So in the analysis part, keep in mind, these are all still free, all right? I'm only going to be focusing, or at least 99% going to be focusing on the paid stuff, on the free stuff, not the paid one. All right, so here we start with the floor price. So probably it launched around 26th, and the floor price actually dropped a little bit. So I bet that the reveal was on 29th. Actually, it was today. Probably with the USA time, it was, I would say it was last night with the USA time. Why I'm saying that is because most of the collections, they come in a phase that is called unrevealed. I'm going to give you an example in a minute. And then when they reveal, you see the properties and traits of the NFTs. And some of them are sometimes like rarer, which means that they have better rankings. And during the reveal and right after the reveal, people actually try to get rid of NFTs which have bad rarities. So I bet this is when the reveal was. And again, 90% of the time, after the panic sales are done, it picks up again. But you never know how much it is going to pick up, right? It might just stay around here or it might come to 0.13 again. So here actually it increased almost 50%. It went down a little bit again to 12, went up to 14, and now it is at 13 again. So is this enough? Definitely not. We should check the floor strength. Floor strength shows us how many NFTs are listed in which price range. So the graph is telling me that if there are 40 sales without new listings, the price is going to reach 0.14. And if there is 91 sales on top of it, it is going to reach 0.17. This is not the best because I would say there is quite many NFTs here, but it all depends on the velocity, right? Which we are going to be checking in a moment. So sales and ranking graphs, it loads a little bit slower because there is a lot of data coming in. It shows you which NFTs are sold, what price, and what their rarities were. So which means that which had better traits, better properties. I would say again the reveal was around here. Actually, that's what we guessed, right? Because if you say there is like a distribution trend, however, here it gets really scattered out because people are just buying, sniping the good rarities, and they are willing to pay more money for the certain rarities. Since we have only 2 hours, I'm not going to go in detail in all of the charts, but I want to show you the important ones. So let's check the NFTs per owner. What this graph shows us that there is 5,090 people who are holding one NFT. And there is this one guy who is holding almost 500. So this is kind of okay because there's only one person that has so many. But if there was like, I don't know, 10 people that are holding 500, that means that those 10 people actually had half of the supply, which I wouldn't like. Now you can go see the active listings. This is kind of important, so I have to spend some time on it. If the count of the number of active listings is going up, it's definitely not a good thing, right? Because it means that more people are actively listing their NFTs. They want to sell them. If this is going down, it means that I will show you a collection that has so little active listings compared to their asset size. And the listings is actually exactly opposite of it. People delist their NFTs when they expect to hear a big announcement or when there was a big announcement for a future implementation. So you should keep an eye on these two different metrics. This is one of the most important one, probably the most important one. It shows the blue chip index of the collections. So it tells me that Imposter's Genesis, I don't know about this collection, but I know about Moonbirds. I actually own one. Moonbirds, 71 Moonbirds has 266 lunatics. So if this index is going up, it means that there are more people from big collections. Look, Moonbirds has a floor of probably 30 Ethereum, maybe even more. Let's check. 32. So these guys are more likely to be diamond hands, and diamond hands mean that people who hold their NFTs for a long time. And there is the opposite terminology is paper hands. Paper hands are a nickname given to people who are panic selling a lot, who just buys something and sells it the next hour or the next day. And you know what? Just let's check the active listings of Moonbirds. You will see that it is going down because they have like different utilities for people who are delisting, and they have a system called nesting. And you see that actually, even though they have the supply of 10,000, there is only so little people. I hope my head is not covering, by the way. There is only slightly above 200 people listing their NFTs. However, if you check Lunatics and check their active listings, I think it was almost, it is above 1,500. You see the difference. And then these guys have a floor price of 0.13, and then Moonbirds has a floor price of 32 Ethereum. There is a huge difference. And then there is the holder comparison. I'm just going to show it on Moonbirds. And in this holder comparison, you see how many NFTs from your target collection is owned by the collection you want to compare it to. So it comes as default with the biggest collection, which is Bored Ape Yacht Club. So there is 531 Bored Ape Yacht Club owners, which have slightly more than 1,000 Moonbirds. So this guy, he has one Bored Ape, he has 32 Moonbirds. This guy, he has 22 Bored Apes. He must be a big name. And he also has 13 Moonbirds. Again, Moonbirds. Again, just like the blue chip comparison, you would want big names, big guys to have many in the collection you are interested in, because First, they are going to be diamond hands, and people actually follow this guy. I don't know who this is, but let's check. But I'm sure that many people are following him because look at this. He has almost 3,000 NFTs. Let's see his bored apes. And it is called whale watching. They are called whales, and people actually get hyped on the NFT collections these big names buy. So they buy from a collection, and people are like, look, there's something going on. This guy who has 22 Bored Ape Yacht Clubs had just purchased from this new collection, and then everybody just starts hyping up, and sometimes there is even butterfly effect, and one thing just hypes another. Look at this guy. He has so many of these Bored Apes, and the floor price of this Bored Ape is, just as we discussed, it's like 152 Ethereum, which is almost $500,000, 450, around 450. Like it's really crazy. Anyway, I don't want to eat up so much of the time because we have a lot to discuss. In the next video, I'm going to be talking about the purchasing part a little bit, and I'm going to show you how this part works, also the live event feed as well. And again, I would like to remind you beforehand, this is going to be also for free. Like this is free as well. I'm not going to be just bragging up about the premium stuff. All right, see you in the next video. I made my head real small so you can see the whole page. So I will continue with the lunatics, and what you see here can be a little bit intimidating, but I'm going to explain everything step by step so you don't have to worry about it. So the system is telling me that this first 10 rows are sharing the first spot. And why is that? Because they are all type exclusive, and for instance, for this trade, which is called exclusive Mirandetic, there is only one NFT. Let's go and check. You see this is exclusive Mirandetic, and when you click on it, there is only one of them. However, you see that there are also other NFTs that has only one of that particular traits. However, they are not in the first spot. Why is that? Because you see they have a trait called BG, whatever it is, and there is 26 other NFTs that share this BG gold trait. On the other hand, this NFT in the first position has its BG trait empty, and there is only 9 NFTs in the entire collection which has it empty. That makes this first 10 rarer, right? And you know what? If you click on this, you will see all the 26 NFTs that has this particular trait. So if you are after a special trait, you can just click on it in the system, and the system is going to show you the NFTs that has this BG gold trait. What else you can do is you can, so if you notice, not all of them are for sale, right? This one is for sale. Let's check for 4.1. However, this one is not listed. So what you are going to do, are you going to check them one by one, or Lucy, it's not listed, there is only an offer. The easy way of doing it is you enter 0.01 here and apply your filters, and it only shows you this particular trait and the ones that are currently being listed right now. And obviously the best choice, at least I would say, will be this one, because all the other ones, oh, there is this one too, sorry. So these two ones will be the best choices. I mean, if you really like the art or whatever, you can buy this one for 35 Ethereum, but I would probably buy this one, because they are all BG gold. They all have one traits, like special traits. This one is probably a little bit rarer, but it doesn't really matter. They are both good. Anyway, on the right side there is the event feed. So the left side is like making all these searches, checking traits. You see how much they were sold for, how many days ago, the current prices, how many of them are listed, how many of them are not listed. However, on the right side, you have the live event feed. So whenever there is a listing, you see it here. Whenever there is a sale, you also see here. So before we even start, if there are so many listings in a collection and there is too little sales, what does it mean? It means that the supply is increasing and the demand, even if the demand is staying the same, it will probably drive the prices down. Well, we kind of discussed about it, so I'm not really going into details. However, what you can do here is you can enter your max price. Let's say I'm willing to pay 0.8, but only for NFTs in the range of first 200. So whenever something gets listed uh, in this range, the system is going to pop it up here. So, or it is going to not show you the listings that are not in the range of these parameters, in other words. This is particularly useful. There are some premium utilities here like the Autobuy or the Alert Sound. I'm not really going to go into the details of them. And if you are starting out, I don't know if you will need them. If you can spend time on it, if you can just look at it, you are good. Anyway, these are for alerting you or automizing the process. So this is how it works. There are some other details like the trade count on or off calculation. There is the reveal percentage. You have to make sure that the collection has actually revealed almost 100% so that the rarities are correct. You can see the supply, royalty, floor price. You can see its movements. I think you can figure out the rest yourself. But this at least will give you a good starting step, and more you play around with the page and the rarities and the trades, you will be understanding more. Anyway, if it is getting a little bit complicated at this point, you can just hop over to our Discord. There is a lot of people there. There's almost like 7,000 people and super active. I will probably try to answer your questions personally, but even if I can't, my team or all the other members, they are going to help you out. Take your time, play around. If you have any questions, hop into Discord and ask it. Alright, in the next video, let's talk a little bit on the trending section. See you then. Before we start with the sniping basics, I'm going to show you the trending page. So it is actually self-explanatory, and in the trending page, you see the trending collections. Obviously, it will give you an idea, but I still suggest to analyze them in depth in order to understand, because there is sometimes like an extra hype because an influencer or a big name just buys like a 10 or 20 of those from those collection, and if the hype is not real or the project is not able to sustain it, you will probably see a big dump. Actually, before I start with trending, let me show you an example of a pump and dump. So Kevin Punks was purchased by someone called Murat Pak. Murat Pak is a big name in the industry. He has several different collections. Merge is one of them. You know, those minimalistic influencers who has like hundreds, probably more than 300,000 followers. Anyway, so what happened is he got like 50 of these Kevin Punks, and there was an incredible pump here. So it went up to 2.35, and obviously back in the day, this collection was actually on the trending page. Actually, we can still see it if we go to top owners. I think this wallet belongs to Murat Pak. Let's see. Yeah, that's right. So before I explain what is going on the trending page, I should warn you that this doesn't mean that all the collections here are going to succeed. So you have to be careful. If we just look what we have here, I know a couple of these collections. This is the Land Drop of Yuga Labs, who also owns Bored Ape Yacht Club as well. So even though it is pumping, I actually noticed that its floor price is going down. Yesterday it was about 7.5 Ethereum. Now it is below 4 Ethereum, and it has almost 100,000 assets. So it's huge. Let's just take a look at the floor graph. You see actually the price is going down. It was even at 8 at some point. However, it is still trending. So it doesn't mean that any trending collection is necessarily going to have its floor price rising. Sometimes it pumps because the floor price dumps. So it goes below a certain point and people are more motivated to buy it. So you have to be careful. For instance, let's check this collection, Caked Apes Official. I have no idea about what this collection is. However, when I go inside, see the floor price is going down. I would first want to see, actually we went over these, but this is the best indicator. I would like to have this rate going up. So if you are going to use the trending page, don't get overhyped. See if the other metrics are supporting a long-term sustainability. So see if the big names from big collections are actually buying from this collection, and also make sure that they are also keeping the NFTs they purchased. So in this page, if you are a free user, you can use it 1 hour and in longer durations, in 2 hours, 4 hours. I would say it is more than enough if you are just starting, but in case that you want to see what is going on in the last 5 minutes, so you want to catch them right before they get known by others, which will eventually might increase their floor price. You can see the 15 minutes range, 5 minutes range, even 1 minute range. However, again, if you are just starting out, I would just advise you to stick to the free version, try to understand it, and see how the collections are behaving over time. I would advise you guys to analyze as many collections as you can, because it is just like solving a puzzle. When you just first start out, you have to figure it out. But as you solve the puzzle more and more, you get more familiar with it, and then you start noticing the patterns. So these collections which are going to be successful usually share the same behavioral patterns. And then as you analyze tens or hundreds of collections, you will start to see if they are going to make it with just a glance. But when it is going to take more time, as you are just starting out, try to spend some time, if you can, even every day, consistently, so that if a real opportunity comes here on the trending page, you will be able to distinguish it from the others as soon as you see it. In the next video, we are going to be stepping into the sniping part, flipping part, so it is going to be more fun, I promise. However, we will be using all the screens and all the info I have shared so far. Let's step into sniping, or in other words, reveal sniping. But we first have to understand the statuses. What is revealed and what is unrevealed. So in a collection that has been revealed, we are able to see the traits. Let's check Moonbirds. So this is rank 1 because it has the rarest traits, or the combination of the rarer ones. We have talked about them in the previous videos, but I want to show it to you how it looks on OpenSea. So it has legendary brave feathers and this jade gray background. And when we check it on OpenSea, we actually see the traits right here, and you see that these traits are extremely rare. You can see the percentiles here. However, let's check an unrevealed collection. For instance, let's check Beans Official. In Beans Official, in the system, you don't see any traits, and when you go to OpenSea, you also won't be able to see any traits. Actually, they all have the same thumbnail or placeholder picture. So when it reveals, it is actually going to change, and there is going to be a new picture here which is in line with the properties it will have. So in an unrevealed collection, either there will be no properties here, or there will be a placeholder property. For instance, it says doing something. In another collection, it might be saying unrevealed. Let's check another one. Let's check unrevealed imaginary ones. However, it is definitely not going to be like Moonbirds. You see there is the placeholder video or GIF or GIF, whatever. And for this one, this doesn't even have a placeholder property. So you will either see it in the system, or when you go to OpenSea, you will realize that the unrevealed ones are basically not revealed. All right, then what is sniping? So once these collections start revealing their metadata, there is a time gap between they actually reveal on OpenSea as well. So if your software, or you can actually do it manually from the link as well, they have a certain URL, and those URLs start changing and they start containing the trades inside. If you are able to do it super fast, you can use the time gap until OpenSea updates them on their own website. Then what happens? Then in the system or in the URL, you will see the trades are coming. However, on OpenSea, they will still have these placeholder pictures or GIFs, whatever. So in that case, what you can do is you can click on the buy now button, and then maybe this one, we don't know it yet, but maybe this one is the legendary one. Maybe this is rank 5. Maybe this is rank 5000, but this one is maybe rank 27. So in the system, it will start showing you the ranks here. It will do partial updates, and it will start from 0, and then it will go to 100%. And if you are fast enough, you can actually snipe one of those listings. That is what reveal sniping is. You can do this manually too. You can check the URLs. It is technically possible, but in practice, I would say you would need to have a software for doing this. If you are just starting out, I would suggest not diving into sniping, but trying to understand what is going on after the reveal, because in almost all softwares, within 30 minutes, they become publicly visible for everyone. But sniping actually happens in the first 5 minutes, maybe even in the first 2. But if you are there after 30 minutes, you see the movements, the ranks, and how much they are being sold, it will give you a pretty clear idea. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to add a real-time sniping recording of mine. Actually, I was sleeping. I woke up to the notification sound, and you will see how it works. It is a real-time recording. I managed to snipe something, and then I flipped it. And also, I would like to warn you guys that it can be a very motivating video. You can get hyped, but keep in mind that I lost a lot of money until I knew what I was doing, and I had many failed snipes. So take it easy, one step at a time. All right, let's go. For your kittens, let me turn on the lights as well. I'm switching to the reveal alert mode. All right, so this looks like a good one. I'm just going to set the price at 0.001, so I see the listings that are already listed. So I'm waiting. By the way, sorry for the fast getting into the video, but it is just reveal and I'm trying to make it real time. All right, so let's snipe something. You know what? I'm just going to play Mad Gas. I don't know anything about this collection, by the way. I'm just doing this to show you real time sniping. By the way, if you even want to pay more gas, you can use the custom gas, but Mad should be fine. Alright, I'm just waiting. Let's see. I'll just wait for, I'll buy this one. You see the two prices are matching. I got it. And guess what? It just got sold. So we had bought it for 0.54. It got sold for 0.95 to this gentleman who is called Blobs. And let's check how much profit we made on it. So let's go. It was called Froyo, right? Let's check it. Froyo Kittens. So I bought it for 0.55. I sold it for 0.95. Collection royalty, and after everything I made a net profit of 0.3. So it actually kind of paid for the NFTinit lifetime, I guess, because the price of the NFTinit lifetime is actually lower than our profit right now. But you have to know what you are doing, because you don't always make money out of snipes, right? I could have lost money too, But this time, I guess we were lucky, and we actually I made slightly less profit than this because I paid more gas. So like it was probably something like this. I paid. You remember I had the high gas setting, so it should be around something like this. But I would say it is still pretty good. So sorry about this video. It was kind of all around the place. I was taking a nap. I just heard the reveal alert, so I was running around, turning on the lights. It paid off though. So I will be trying to record more snipes because our members obviously are very interested in to see how I do it in real time. It's not no magic though. You saw it. It's kind of straightforward. I will be talking about reveal snipes more. I will give you some tips and tricks. But right now it is 5:30 in the morning, and I would say it's a good time to end the video. Have a good one. Reveal sniping is not only limited to what I showed you in the previous video, and also in this video we are going to go through to somewhat free methods of doing it. So in the last video you saw how I sniped a good rarity, but sniping is not limited to rarity. There are some special traits in pretty much every collection, and those traits they are called alpha traits, and those traits give some utility. So I'm going to show you Ninja Squad's official. In this collection, there is a trait called Deep Alpha. I will also show it to you on OpenSea as well. So you will notice that these NFTs are necessarily not the highest ranks. They actually have rarities over 300, maybe even 400. But still, they are being sold for a lot higher than the floor price. I think they go up to almost 500. Yeah, 508 is the lowest rarity. But let's check them on OpenSea. Actually, we can check it on the software as well, but let me actually first show it to you how it works on the software. If I come here and I type 0.01 just to see the ones that are actively listed, you will see that then we can sort it from lowest to highest. You can see that they are currently being sold for a minimum of 2.3, even though the floor is 0.27. Let's verify it on OpenSea. It was in the background trait, background property. Let's go to Deep Alpha and let's click on Buy Now. Yeah, it is minimum 2.3, so the floor is 0.27. However, this is almost 10 times more expensive than the floor. So we call it the floor of this particular trade is 2.3. The reason I am telling you this is because after the reveal, there is almost always people who sell this kind of valuable NFTs with special traits, with alpha traits, without realizing, or for some reason they just sell it on the floor price. So I remember the reveal day of this collection, and I remember some of these NFTs were being sold for 0.10, 0.15. You can actually go into the NFTs and see what they were first sold for. However, what are we going to do with it is we can use the system. You can also use the OpenSea activity tab for sniping NFTs that has these special traits and that are being sold close to the floor price. I will show you how to do it on the system. It is free again. So if you are starting out with sniping, maybe you would like to see and use this property of NFTinit.com first, because it's obviously free and it will get you warmed up with sniping. When there is a collection reveal, you will see so many listings. If you remember, I had shown it to you in the scatter chart. So what you can do here is you can type 0.3 to the max price, and then you can set 500. So what the system is going to do is system is going to show you if there is an NFT that is listed within this range. Or you can select the traits. You can still select Deep Alpha here.
and then the system only going to show you if an NFT with deep alpha trait is listed under this price. These are the paid options, enabling alert sound, enabling Autobuying MetaMask. So what happens is basically if something gets listed, it's going to play an annoying sound to make you jump out of your bed, or it is going to pop up the MetaMask directly, or it is going to make the purchase on the background without you even noticing. So founding members have this option. They just leave it and they hope to wake up to have purchased some good NFTs over the night. Even if you don't feel like using the free version here, because for this you will have to actually you don't have to connect your wallet. You can just use the free version. So you can just use the free version here, or if you don't want to use the system, you can always do it on the OpenSea. These are the extensions utility that is showing you the rank and the percentile. I will explain the extension in a different video. And actually, in order to show you guys what I mean, let's check one of the collections here. For instance, this one, Space Boo, it is revealed. You see there is a lot more going on the listings. There are so many active listings. So what is the floor price now? 0.04. We can type 0.4 here, but we can say, you know what, show me the NFTs that are listed in the first 500 positions. See, this one got listed 13 minutes ago, and its ranking was 369. Let's go a little bit deeper and try to see the ones that are listed within the first 300. And maybe we can play around a little bit. Maybe we are willing to pay up to 0.8. But I want to see the NFTs that are in the range of 150. Maybe, not bad. So you can combine this with using the left side of the system, and this is called the event feed. You can turn it off and on. You can tell the system to show you the ones that are only being actively listing. That is why I'm entering a super small value here. And then you can ask system to filter out the first, let's say, 200 positions for you. And then you can actually see the cheapest NFT within this range. Let's check. So the minimum is, actually this is not bad, right? 0.08. It has a nice rarity. It is almost at the floor range. Yeah, this is actually nice. And this is also nice too, right? So you can grab one of these, or you can sort them according to the rarity. But then I am not interested in paying more than 0.3. Let's see it again. All right, so for the price of 0.3, this is the best one I can get. Or you can again get something like this for 0.8. The rest is up to your analysis. So I will leave the rest to you. However, so this collection I think is trending a little bit. So let's see. It only has one NFT in this range, two NFTs in this range. There is some NFTs in this range. What is the supply of this? You know what? Actually, let me buy this one. So I can show you guys how sniping works. This is not a bad deal, but I think this one in particular is a better deal. Because yeah, 154 is an okay ranking for just 2 times of the floor price. So let's buy it. All right. Actually, you know what? In the last video, I told you how the custom gas settings work. You can think of gas as the money you pay to the miners. If you pay more gas, so in other words, if you pay more money, the miners are more willing to complete your transaction. That's how the blockchain works. So imagine you are using NFTinit.com and I am using NFTinit.com as well, and somebody for some reason just listed rank 1 for a very reasonable price. Or it can be that during the reveal it was already listed and I was trying to snipe it, but you were also trying to snipe it. And we pressed the buy button at the same time. Then what happens? Then the person who pays more gas gets the NFT because the miners are more willing to complete his job order before mine because he paid more gas. Simple as that. So if I really want to get this one, what I can do is I can adjust the gas setting here. Actually, it is quite expensive right now. Sometimes you will see it going down to like 20, even 13. So for this one, you can actually wait. However, you can change the gas setting here and you can press on the fast buy button. Then the system is going to complete the transaction with the preset gas value here, or you can enter your custom gas price. This is somewhat advanced, and this is if you are willing to pay a lot of money, more than the mad gas setting that we have here, so that you want to make sure that you will be able to snipe the NFT. This is a paid feature, by the way, if you want to change the gas settings. But again, if you are just starting out, I don't think you really need to play around with gas. You can just buy this one with using the buy button. So let's check what happens when we change the gas or leave it at normal. So I'm pressing the buy button and the system pops it up, and here estimated gas fee is $53. If you go inside and edit the settings, you will see that the fee is around 69 and the priority fee is 2. But if you have one of these custom values, preset custom values, or your own custom value here, and if you press the fast buy button, the system is going to make the purchase with your preset value. So you will be more likely to buy it compared to someone who is using the default gas. This is how the gas works. You can still do the same thing on OpenSea. So let's check. Let's assume that we are buying it. And let's go to checkout. Oh, actually, I have a lot of notifications. Let me clear them out. These are from the previous ones. Okay, I will just do it again. So it's going to pop up my MetaMask. When it pops up, you can change the gas setting here. You can go to advanced options, you can change the priority fee, or you can change the max gas fee you are willing to pay. It's telling me the max priority fee is higher than necessary, but again, it depends on what kind of NFT you are getting. If you are getting just this one, it has been sitting on the floor for a while now. For how much it was, how long it was, yeah, it has been listed 3 hours ago. So I would say you wouldn't have to pay so much gas. Of course, someone might be faster than you and somebody can just get it, but yeah, like you wouldn't have to pay so much gas because it was already on the floor. Thank you for watching, guys. I think it is time we go into bidding. So see you in the next video. In this video, we will be talking about bidding and how you can make flips when you place your bids in a logical way. So bidding, actually let's start with what bidding is. For instance, let's go to a collection like Muffers, and you see the floor price is 2.15 Ethereum right now. As we have talked about this earlier, this means that the cheapest NFT is being sold for 2.15 in this collection, which is this one. Then you will notice the floor increasing. However, there are offers going on in this collection too, I'm pretty sure. How you can find out is you can go to the activity tab and then you can go to bids. So you see there are continuously offers are being sent from different users. So the floor price was 2.15, right? Keep that in mind. And this gentleman is placing an offer for 1.55. Let's go back to NFTinit and see the profit calculation. Here we pick muffers. So the floor price is correct. We just checked it. However, now we are going to assume that we purchased this with an offer and we resold this at the floor price. That is what that gentleman who was placing bids was doing. He wants to get the NFT at this price, and then he wants to probably resell it at the floor price, or he maybe just wants to keep it. But in the scenario of reselling it, you make an instant profit of 0.46, which is around $1,400, which is a lot, I would say. Actually, you make slightly more money than this. Pay attention to this. Not so many people knows about this. When you make a purchase with bidding, in other words, if your bid is accepted, you don't pay the gas fee. The seller pays the gas fee. So actually your profit will go up. That's the good thing with bidding. You can make bids equal to 1,000 times of your VAT balance. Here it might get a little bit complicated. So when you are making a purchase on OpenSea, what you use is your Ethereum, right? Here. So let's go to, for instance, Ninja Squad collection. And if I were to buy some one NFT from the floor, I would use my Ethereum balance. Let's go and check how it works. When I click on checkout, it will pop up my MetaMask, and then I will make the purchase with my Ethereum. However, when you are placing bids, you don't use Ethereum, you use wrapped Ethereum. So I'm going to show you how it goes. You see, I'm going to swap 0.75 Ethereum to wrapped Ethereum, because this is how you can make bids with currencies like wrapped Ethereum. This is the most common one. Alright, this is going to cost me $4 to swap it. It is also dependent on how much the gas is. So if the gas price is higher, the miners will charge you more for completing your swapping action. So once you convert your Ethereum to wrapped Ethereum, you can start making bids. So in this case, the profitability of this collection was quite high, because if you remember from the earlier videos, the collection royalty of this collection was quite low. So if it was 10%, you see, oh, it's 105, you would be making significantly less profit. But when it is 2.5%, it is almost 0.5 Ethereum. So let's see if our swapping is complete. Yes, it is. And now we can actually submit bids. I'm going to show you a couple examples, flipping examples of mine actually. So let's see what happened here. You see, I purchased this for 0.2. The gentleman accepted my offer, and I resold it for 0.45 almost. You can go to our profit sharing channel. You will see many people sharing their profits, and how you can understand that these are purchased by bids is, you see, this is the wrapped Ethereum sign, and this is the same sign, but it is with the darker color. This is the Ethereum sign. So you see there is like either small or big profits. I'm going to explain you different kinds of bidding as well. Sometimes some members are making like smaller but more consistent flips, and some of them are making bigger flips. So yeah, it also depends on how much you are bidding for. This is a quite nice profit as you see it. Anyway, you can go there and check it yourself. But this is how the logic of the software works. So let's make a bid and see how it goes. So for instance, for this one, the floor price is 0.29, right? I will just go back to NFTinit. I'm going to calculate my desired profitability, and I'm going to place some bits. So I would like to get this maybe at like 0.2, and there won't be any gas fee, don't forget about it. And if I'm okay with making this much profit, which is not bad actually, if you are just starting out, you can place your bids at 0.2. So if you obviously offer higher, it is if you offer more wrapped Ethereum, it is going to be more likely to be accepted. So you can try this. This is getting smaller, but it is still profit because you are just selling it back at the floor price. So even at this offer, you can still make some money. So let's go to Ninja Squad officials. And for this one, let's place an offer for 0.2. Here is where you set your expiry date. And let's just make it a very short one. I think it's for just 30 minutes. Yeah. Once you submit your offer, it is going to ask you for the permission, and once you sign it, you will see it in the page on OpenSea. You see, here is my offer. So we are going to go to the technical details, and I'm going to show you different methods of making offers and picking projects. But obviously there are some risks. You have to check the analysis part again. If the collection is fluctuating so much, you might want to stay away from that collection. Or if you are using the software, we have something called dynamic bidding, where the system adjusts your bids according to the fluctuations on the floor price. Anyway, this is the 101 of bidding. And in the next videos, I'm going to explain your limitations because you can't make infinite bids, right? It is dependent on how much wet balance you have. It's actually quite nice because you can make 1,000 times, a total of 1,000 times of your wet balance. So it means that if you have one wrapped Ethereum, your total bids can sum up to 1,000 wrapped Ethereum. I'm going to explain it in detail in the next videos. However, this is how bidding works, and this is how people usually try to make money with placing bids. Now let's place some multiple bids. You can call it mass bidding actually. And I'm going to show you my favorite collections to make bids on. Keep in mind though, these are not rules which are set on stones, so there are so many different strategies. People constantly think about different ways of getting their bids accepted, and actually the methods and strategies keep improving. So the best way of learning is actually joining to Discord and asking people, probably in the profit sharing channel or in the general chat, whatever, about their strategies. Obviously, people will keep some of their strategies to themselves, but still there is a lot of public information going on there. I'm going to show you what I do and some methods with high conversion rate. So first of all, I wouldn't use the trending page, because if something is trending or if something is very high here, it's going to be kind of expensive. If you are just starting out, these are considerably high values. Or if it is trending right now on the research tab, it means that there is too much attention on them. So there is going to be too many people. You don't really need it. Keep in mind though, this is just my subjective strategy, so you can go ahead and try with them too. But what I would like to do is actually finding collections which has some volume, which has some activity, however, which are not really the ones that 10 other people are constantly bidding. So if I'm the only one who is bidding, or if there is only a couple competitors, it makes it more likely that my bids will be accepted. So what you can do is you can search for last sale. I wanted to have a minimum of like 10 sales. However, I don't want it to have so many sales, right? Maybe up to 30, 35. And then This is the last 24 hours, by the way. You can put similar filters to 7-day sales count instead as well. So this part is actually dependent on your budget. So if you have like 10 Ethereum or wrapped Ethereum to spend, then you can target NFT collections with higher floors, obviously. However, I'm just going to assume that I have as much as I have in this account right now, which was 0.75. So technically, it means that this is the highest value I can bid on a single NFT. I can make multiple bids of 0.75. However, I cannot bid more than 0.75 on a single NFT. I'm going to show you what I mean now. Anyway, so I'm going to actually go up to only 0.35. And the reason is that because there is something called VAT spent limit. I'm going to open a Google Docs and I'm going to show you what I mean. Alright, let's assume that our VAT balance is 1 to simplify the calculation. Then I can actually make 1 times 1000 total of bits, so which is basically 1000 wrapped Ethereum. So this means that at any time my active bits can sum up to this value. By the way, I have to warn you guys, OpenSea says that their limit is in their documentation. I can add it to the description or whatever. It is 1000 times of your VAT balance. However, their limit sometimes stops at 700 and sometimes stops at 1200. So it is not, I would say it's not 100% accurate, but it is somewhere around here. And also some people say that instead of MetaMask, if you use Coinbase, it is more accurate. I will leave it to you. You can discuss it on the Discord or try it yourself. So which means that if I'm making bits of 0.35, actually I can make these many bits. So let's calculate it here. What is it? It is, I can place almost 3000 bits, 2857 to be exact. 2857 bits. Yeah, actually let me write it down. I can make this many, right? But then there is the expiry time. So expiry time is actually how long your bits will stay. So you can, I think it is between 15 minutes. I mean, the smallest value you can enter is 15 minutes. So one thing people do is instead of giving bits with a longer duration of time, let's say like instead of 5 hours, 6 hours, 2 hours, people actually use like 20 or 25 minutes here. The reason they do it is because as they bid, some of their bids keep expiring, which gives them more VAT spent limit. Because this is the number of bids we can make, the total maximum number of bids we can make. However, if your bids expire, this count starts refreshing. So imagine you placed this many bids and your expiry was 25 minutes. When you check back it in an hour, your bids will have expired and you will again will have space for making these many bids. So another thing people do is they put a shorter expiry time, however they loop on the collection, meaning that when the bids finish processing, you can do this manually or with the software, they start over and start bidding again. So one advantage of doing this is you probably will not be the only one who is bidding on the collection. You might be, depending on the criteria you enter. However, if there are competitors and if you keep looping, actually as soon as the system starts going over the NFTs again, the system will bid a little bit higher than your competitors, which is called competitive bidding. Again, you can do this manually or you can let the system do it. So what happens is if your competitor's bid, let me put it here, competitor bid was 0.30, let's say 6, and you want to place your bids, let's say between 0.35, which is your minimum value, to 0.45. So you want to make your bids between this range. However, you are telling the system to go up to 0.45 if there is an existing bid on the NFT, so that you can actually outbid your opponent, because obviously the person who is going to accept the offer is more likely to accept the highest bid. Alright, so there is something else called dynamic bidding. Dynamic bidding actually changes your inputs according to the fluctuations in the floor price. Meaning that if the floor price or at the beginning was 1 Ethereum and you were bidding 0.5 Ethereum, when the floor price, if the floor price obviously goes to 0.5 Ethereum, your inputs will halve. So it's going to be 0.25 Ethereum. So these are the basic settings or the options you have to keep in mind. We implemented them to our software, but basically what we were doing is we were doing this manually at the beginning. And as we started improving the software, we were like, you know what, we were using dynamic bidding, but we were doing it manually. We were doing competitive bidding, we were looping on the collection. So we tried to implement everything to the system. In the last video I showed you how you can place bids manually. Let's check how we can do it with the system. But first, let's find a collection that fits in our criteria. So we had entered the floor price of a maximum of 0.35. Well, I'm not going to try to find collections with 0% commission as well as royalty, so I'm just going to say up to 5%. You know what, even up to 6% is fine. And I think at least we should have 1,000 assets in the collection. So let's apply the filters. So these are the collections that came up. You will notice that CryptoPunks showed here as well. It's a very expensive collection. However, they don't have a floor price, meaning that there is no NFT that is being sold as of now, which actually mean that they don't have a floor price. So system just thinks it's zero. So these are the collections that came up. So I would probably pick either one of them. And for instance, let's check. You know what? Like, I mean, even if I think maybe we don't even have to go to 35, we can even limit it to like even 5 cents will be fine for me. 5 to. So you know what? I'm just going to increase the floor price a little bit. So I reduce the results, and it will also give me some profitability because I'm not interested in bidding something which is like a floor of 0.001. So these guys. So for instance, let's check this one. Dice punks, right? There are so many punk derivatives. I want to. I'm not sure if let's check stoner cats. All right. So you can just check the floor and how it was. It dropped a little bit, so it gives me a red flag here. So it's not that bad. See, I will leave a gap for myself, and I will use the dynamic bidding. I'm going to check if there is actively bids going on this collection. Yeah, there is someone bidding. Yeah, there are some bids. It's not too extensive. Let's go ahead and start our bidding process. So I'm going to go to the settings tab here. I'm going to show you how the system would work. So what was it called? Was the Stoner Cats, right? This one. So it has above 10,000 assets. So I will actually divide it into 5 pieces, 5 threads. So the system can even bid faster. I'm going to just edit 5 times. Stoner Cats, Stoner Cats, Stoner Cats. All right. So let's check the profitability on this one. Profitability. It was Stoner Cats, right? So I'm going to get this with bits. So what happens if I offer 0.1? It actually leaves a quite decent profit because the royalty is low. You know what, maybe I'm willing to go up to even 0.5. I will get 0.01, but I am willing to go up to 0.15. Keep that in mind, because I'm going to enable the competitive bidding mode. Because you know what, I will say, you know what, offers 0.11 to this collection. However, I am okay to go up to 0.135. Okay, so as I just explained on Google Docs, this is going to be my default bid, and if there is a bid on the NFT which is around, let's say, 0.12, then the system will go above it just by bit, as long as it is under my maximum bid. If the current bid on the NFT is above my maximum bid, the system will just not place any bid. The reason for that is the system will try to save your VAT balance. All right, let's actually copy these settings down, and maybe I want us to stop value as well. All right, so this is to protect you. Actually, it is not mandatory. However, you can say that, you know what, if the collection goes below 0.1, I don't want to bid on this collection anymore. You can just enter a stop value like this, and if for reason if it goes up, it is actually a good thing that the collection is going up. More people will not be aware that the floor picked up, and they will just accept the offer. But if you want to stop it, you can stop it as well. And the dynamic here is the thing that I explained on Google Docs as well. So as the floor price changes, you will notice your default bid and max bid will change as well in the according to the percentage of change. Looping is basically looping. It's the system keeps looping on the collection, and this is the default is the fast bid. However, if you want to bid slower for a reason, you can toggle this off and just put a delay between your bids. Some people like it slower. And last but not least, you can tell the system to wait like a certain amount of time between your loops, like 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours, whatever. And this is the important part. So I want it to expire in 25 minutes. I don't want my VAT balance to finish. So it is already going to take some time to place offers. So I'm just going to make it 25 minutes. And when it starts looping, it will overbeat my competitors. Now here, if you are interested in bidding on NFTs that are currently being listed or currently being sold, actively being sold, you can toggle this on. And trade count is a methodology of ranking. So I usually leave the trade count off. The simple idea behind it is, if you toggle this on, the system adds the value of trade count into the rarity calculation algorithm. It is kind of an advanced topic. I will just suggest you to not toggle this on. So it comes like this as default. I will talk about trade bidding in the upcoming videos. Yeah, I'm going to show you guys the private key bidding method. This is a premium feature, by the way, but I'm just showing you for the sake of showing how the bidding works. I'm going to export my private key. I'm going to paste it here. And when I click submit bids, the system will ask me if I entered everything correctly. And when I say start bidding, the system will check the floor prices to see if there was any change, and then it will start bidding. You see it already started bidding, and it is quite fast. How you can check it is you can go to your, actually you can, yeah. Right now you see I am the one who's placing bids here. I am not sure if there is any competition going on. It feels like I'm the only one bidding. So this might be a good, there is someone, but that person is probably bidding manually or something, because see how many bids I am placing and how many he is placing. Yeah, this is the advantage the software provides to you. And if my bids, so I'm assuming that I am the highest bidder on this one. If there was other bids Oh, I made a mistake. You see, there are so many bits going on from me. So what did I make as a mistake? Let's stop it. I put 5 threads. However, I didn't divide the threads into the ID numbers. So if I want to make them work in a different in like different threads, I am supposed to divide the ID numbers. So I'm going to just do this: 4,000 to 6,000, 6,000 to 8,000, and finally 8,000 to 10,000. I'm going to run this again, and this time it's going to start over, and this time it's actually going to be covering the collection a lot faster because I divided the token IDs accordingly. So if you are using something like this, I'm not sure if there are many softwares who are supporting private key. However, if you are using something like this, probably you are going to be one of the fastest ones who are bidding on the collection. And if you have options like dynamic bidding, competitive bidding, probably the system will help you be the highest bidder on the collection for most of the time. And in the next video, I'm going to show you a little bit more about the rarity bidding, which you can do. Some actually people, like big players usually use either rarity bidding or trade bidding. However, floor bidding is completely fine, and I use it as well myself. Let's check the, yeah, you see. All right, so in this one, I have more than 0.11, you see. So this was my competitor. He or she or that person, let's say, bid it 0.1177, and the system outbidded him just by a little bit. So it is me who has the highest offer. So this is how the private key bidding works. This is the automated version. There are other versions of the premium site, but I don't want to go into details of them so much because they are premium. I just wanted to show you guys how the automation of bidding works. I am more interested in showing you the methods so that you can actually do them manually, like the rarity bidding and the trade bidding. All right, see you in the next video, guys. In the last video, we had talked about the Stoner Cats collection, and one of my bids actually went through. Now I own this NFT. If you see in the activity tab, this gentleman sold me his NFT for this amount, which is under the floor price. Actually, 9 months ago, this NFT collection, I could say, was worth a lot more. Here also you can see the past transactions as well. Now, as you see, I purchased it for quite lower compared to what it would worth 9 months ago. So now I'm going to flip it. Let's see how much money I will make. Let's go to profitability calculator. And what was our collection? Stoner Cats. I'm not after like a huge profit here. I just want to show you how things would work. So if as I got it with the bits, there is no gas fee as we have discussed, and I bought it for 0.15. What was the 0.1515? 1515. Right now my profit will be this much if the list gas fee was 0.085 Ethereum. Let's check. Probably we always overestimate it. Probably it is going to be something more like 0.02, even less than that. Let's see. Let's sell it. I'm going to undercut the floor price just a little bit. So let's list it for 3 days. And actually, if you want to sell it faster, you can even undercut the floor price more. So listing gas fee is 0. As you see here, 0.0034. So this is the gas fee I'm going to put here. So it's actually the max fee, but let's assume it's going to take the max fee. So this is the profit I would be making if it sells.
Then I would say if I want to, if I'm, so let's check how much it is in terms of dollars. So Ethereum price has gone down, unfortunately, a little bit. So the profit was 0.011, which is 30 bucks. It's not bad. I mean, I didn't carry stones, right? Going to complete the listing. It is going to ask me to approve selling the NFT. By the way, this small fee we pay for listing an or NFT is only paid once per collection. So if I were to get another NFT from this collection, if I, with bits or whatever, and if I want to list it, then there is no fee. It is free. But for the first time, for 99% of the collections, you would have to pay that small fee. So I will show you which fee I'm talking about. Let's just sign this. Yeah, now it is for sale. So this is the fee I'm talking about. You only pay this for once per collection. That's all. Okay, so I think this would be a nice example of making some quick money. As I mentioned, like I just wanted to show you guys, sometimes it can take longer to get a bid accepted. It also depends, as I mentioned, like how active the collection is, how much you are bidding. Usually I don't bid for collection that is so low because, I mean, uh, this might be good for you, like if you do this every day, but on the other hand, I would probably at least go for 300 bucks. This is the probably, I mean, maybe 150 bucks is fine too. It's entirely up to you. But if you are just starting out, maybe you want to warm it up with like smaller profits. As I mentioned in our Discord, for instance, this is this person's first profit. This one is not bad actually. And then I don't know, like, oh, this one is huge. 3 minute flip with init trade bidding. Well, this is kind of crazy. There is a lot of profit here. This is, you see, like when people are first starting, he said it's my first snipe. This is a snipe actually, not bid, but yeah, like it's rather smaller than the compared to the like bigger players. But you get there, like small or big, like as you make more flips, you get more used to it. So yeah, like I mean, this is small, but in terms of return on investment, this is nice. If you are interested, I really suggest you guys to just go to Discord and ask your questions in one of these channels. Anyway, I just wanted to show you guys how things work, but if you are interested in talking more about the flips with bits, just hop over the Discord and ask your questions in one of these channels. See you then, guys. You remember the stoner cat I got with bits that we talked about in the last video? It actually just got sold 20 hours ago. I'm not going to go into profitability again because we already talked about it. However, I want to talk to you about like strategies here because even though some people focus on higher flips, this is also a very valid method. What I mean by this is you don't necessarily need to focus on one collection. So if you want to make flips on slower collections like this, you can actually simultaneously bid for on multiple collections. And then since these collections don't have so much competition on them, you can make multiple flips on multiple collections. So it might look like a smaller value compared to most of the profits you see in the profit sharing channel in Discord. However, when you add these 30 bucks, 50 bucks, 60 bucks on top of each other, they actually start becoming a quite nice value. So it's all up to you guys. You can focus on like bigger flips. You can focus on smaller but more frequent flips. I think you are going to find out pretty soon when you start doing this yourself. Now we will talk about rarity and trade bidding. It is actually very similar to what I showed you guys during the sniping videos. So you would remember that in this particular collection, there was a trade called Deep Alpha, which was selling for a lot higher. Remember? Uh, when I was first shooting the videos, I think the cheapest one was this one. Now there is another one. However, even though the floor price is around 0.3,
the cheapest one that has this trade is still above 2 Ethereum floor price. So the floor of this particular trade is 2.1. That's what we can say. So what you can do is, and this is what most of the advanced users, advanced bidders do, is they actually, instead of placing regular bids on the whole collection, they target the specific trades. It can be this one, deep alpha for this collection. So what you do is you pick your trades and you only send bids to those trades. And this usually has a couple of advantages. One of them is the competition is usually lower on these NFTs because most people don't focus on trade bidding. Let's see, for instance, this one has a 0.5 offer. This one doesn't even have an offer. This one has an 0.2. So what I would say is probably this person was just placing on bids on the whole collection, and he just placed 0.2 on this one as well. And then this offer was probably manually placed by Luka Chiriki 35 because this is the cheapest one with this trade. The downside of this method is probably you might need to wait a little bit because on this kind of special trades the sales velocity might be slower. I'm going to show you another example. This is one also is a Turkish collection, fluffy polar bears. And I think they have a special one called Legend Type. Yeah. So in the type there is the normal, there is the set, and then there is the special edition. By the way, don't get deceived by their volume here. They actually are a quite big collection and they have a lot of volume, but then they migrated. Yeah, they have over 2,000 Ethereum volume, but then they migrated and it is now showing the volume after the migration. Okay, so special edition consists of only 99 NFTs, and let's see which ones are being listed right now. As you see here, the floor price of the special editions is actually over 1 Ethereum, even though the floor price of the collection is 0.06. Let me just show you some of the, if we can do this, maybe recent sales here, recently sold on, yeah. So I think these ones were actually recently sold for offers. So yeah, this one was sold for 0.79 6 days ago. And then this one wasn't sold with an offer. This one was actually sold for 0.7 to Bahar 75 as well 16 days ago. So you can actually see that bids are working on special trades like this. I'm showing you more reasonable examples. However, if you go to, for instance, other site, other deed for other site, this is a collection by Yuga Labs. I think I mentioned about it. So there is a special trade called Coda, and these ones are, the trade floor of this one is probably high. Let's check it. Yeah, it starts from 20 Ethereum, and many of these NFTs were actually sold for offers and quite low offers compared to the floor price, because I explained to you the other day what happens is people sometimes don't realize that they have a special trade, or they can't really understand the value of the trade. So if you have free time, just go to this collection and check and find out the ones that were sold with offers. There you will see that bidders made a lot of profit on this collection. Actually, I'm going to show you one snipe and quite a big profit from this collection. It is in our Discord profit sharing channel. I saw it a couple days ago. It was like over 10 Ethereum or something like that. Let me try to find it. Oopsies. Yeah, this one. So Troublemaker Hüsnü bought it for, it's a reveal snipe by the way, bought it for 5.95 and he sold it for 16.5. It is one of the biggest ones I have seen, at least in our Discord. You see he waited a little bit. there is some time between these two time frames. However, this is a quite huge profit. This is not bidding though. I just wanted to show it to you because we were talking about other site, other deed, this collection. This was a reveal snipe. And thinking of reveal sniping on Rarity, actually I should explain how Rarity on bidding works as well. So what you can do is, if you are using a software, you can do this manually too, or sometimes you can just use the free utilities of the softwares. What you can do is you see the rarities here on the Chrome extension. So the left one means the percentile, the lower the better, and this one shows the ranking. So you can place bids on the rarer ones. So you try to filter them out here, or if you want to be more practical, you can go to the website. Remember, this is free. This is only locked during the reveals, and in 30 minutes it opens. What you can do is you can just tell the system to bring you the first, let's say 3000. Remember, they have so much assets. They have like 97, almost 100,000 supply. So first 3000 is still very good. Then you can actually place bids on this. Let me show you how the system works. You can skip this part because this is a premium feature of NFTinit, but I'm going to show you anyway. So if you're not interested in any of this, how the system works, please just skip. So which one should we go for? Let's go for Ninja Squad collection. Ninja Squad, I'm adding it. So what you do is, you come here, you type deep alpha, boom, and that's all. Then the system only plays bids on those NFTs which have those traits. That's all. Or what you can do is you can disregard this trait, and if you want to place on bids on only on Rarity, let's check the other side, other deeds. I'm just adding it, and then you say that you switch to ranking, and you're saying I want to place bid from 0 to 3000. Then the system is only going to place bids on NFTs which are in that range of rarity. It might look a little bit easy, but trust me, it's not that easy to get your offers accepted. However, one of my offers went through. You remember the Stoner Cats? I might make a video about it, how I sell it and how I calculate the profitability. But usually, before your bid gets accepted, you would have to send quite many bids. It depends on the collection, it depends on how much you are bidding, it depends on the expiry time, it depends on if you are placing bids on Rarity or trades, but it will take some effort. I would say the conversion is usually better, meaning your bids are more likely to be accepted if you are doing ranking based bidding or if you are doing trade based bidding, because then you are offering actually above the floor. Like what I mean is, if you are bidding for that special trade they have, which is Coda, this one, I might be wrong by the way, it is either one of these, I know it is related to Coda, but either one of these, probably yes, maybe Mega Coda, I don't know. One of them is extremely, yeah, look at this. Their floor price is actually almost 180 Ethereum. It's crazy, right? Do you see how the trades are affecting? Like, if you pick a rare trade here, the floor really skyrockets. So, yeah, this one, for instance, if you bid something like even 5 Ethereum, that wouldn't make sense. However, people also flipped so many of these special trees, as I mentioned earlier in the video, because at the beginning, the price wasn't really set. So people bought them for like 20, then they sold it for 100, or bought it for 50 and sold it for 150. Those are more advanced topics, but I think you got the idea. Alright guys, have a good one. Until now we have covered a lot. Especially reveal sniping and bidding are two of the probably most major strategies that people follow. However, there is another one ahead of us which is called auto purchasing, or you can call it auto buying. We will go there. But before I introduce you to another major topic, I want to show you some screens that you can play around and excel your skills. They will also help you to understand the movements on the NFT collections better.
So if you can go to any collection, like you can go to, let's go to research, and here let's sort them with the highest one day sales. I want to show you something that is revealed, maybe like astronaut. So when you go to this collection, if you click on the live view button on the left panel, you will see a scatter graph on the right side. On this chart, you can see which NFTs, actually you can change the time frame. You can see which NFTs in terms of ranking were sold for how long and when. So you will probably notice the NFTs that are sold on the upper part are the better rankings, or they might have some special traits, and NFTs that were sold around the floor are the common ones. You can change the time frame here. And actually what you can do is you can enter your filters. I'm going to explain this more in depth in the upcoming videos where I explain auto purchasing and auto buying. However, if you want to see the graph on the right side, you can on this page also enter your max price. Let's assume my max is 0.2, and then you can enter your max rank, which is, let's say, 1000. And if anything gets listed or if anything gets sold, it will show up here. It is not going to change the view on the right side. However, you will see the listings and the sales in these two respective panels. Let's check this one and see if it is still available. Yeah, this one is still available. So if you are interested, you can also play around on this screen and see the movements of the NFT collections. This part is for free. This is the premium part. But as a beginner, probably you don't even need these options. Of course, they give you a competitive edge, but if your intention is to analyze the screen and analyze the NFT collections, even with the free version, it will give you a real bright idea of what's going on in the collection. It is time to cover the auto purchasing part in detail. I am going to introduce you to a module called the Cockpit. Here you can track multiple collections, set your inputs and criteria for the system to alert you or make the purchase itself, or pop up the MetaMask button so you can examine it yourself and make the purchase. There are some advanced options as well. However, I'm just going to show you the regular options. We had gone over them briefly on the event feed section, but this page is a little bit different. In this page, you set up the collections you want to track and you all track them in one single page. So let's do it from scratch. I'm just going to remove the collections. So assume that we had given I'm going to go over the examples we have already talked about. For instance, we can go and check Media Scout Official. So for instance, for this collection, I want to buy as many, let's say even 100 NFTs. If the maximum price is below 0.15 and the max rank is, you know what, I don't even care about the max rank. So if someone just lists something below 0.15, I want the system to buy as many as it can buy. However, I have to give you some red flags here. There are some bots working on OpenSea. So if something is significantly below the floor price, those bots are going to try to buy it, and they will use a lot of gas. So the profitability is not going to be so high in NFTs which are significantly listed below the floor price. So I don't suggest you focus too much on this. Instead, as we have already discussed, we can focus on rarity or we can focus on traits. So I already know the good traits in this collection. If you remember, we talked about deep alpha. And I want the system to, actually there is another good trait here, which is called spectator, I think. Yeah. So I want the system to make a purchase if an NFT with either one of these traits
gets listed. So the system is going to make the purchase if an NFT with deep alpha trait is listed or an NFT with spectator trait is listed. So keep in mind this is an or condition, not and condition. For those trades, I'm willing to pay well over the floor price, and I just want the system to get me one of those NFTs if it gets listed. And then let's set something for rarity. For instance, let's check muffers. For muffers, I am looking for something rare, for probably in the first 2500. And I am willing to pay up to 2 Ethereum. So actually there was one. It is actually a pretty good one. I bet this got sold quite fast. It was over the floor price. However, it has a good ranking. It's 309. A couple months ago, these rarities around 300 were being sold for like 6, 7, even above 10. So I would say, you know what? Let's go and check this NFT. See how long it took. You see, this person got it for 1.9, and now he's listing it. He's trying to flip it, and it was the first time that this NFT was ever sold. So maybe this person actually minted it 5 months ago, and he just sold it now after 5 months. So I would say this was a good one, and it was already an offer above the floor price, you see, because it's a rare one. So if I had set my conditions like this, the system would have made the purchase, or it would have tried to make the purchase. And that's because of the gas settings. So you remember we talked about gas, how if you give more gas, it's going to complete, or miners are going to complete your transactions faster, right? So if I am after something like this, I would probably use even mad gas, because I think I would make some profit after I sell this. So for this one, I am also like, maybe I can use instant, and if you want to, you can use custom gas here as well. This part is the premium part. I should have actually told it in the beginning. However, you can still set your filters like this, and you can literally sit in front of the screen. The benefit of doing this is, as soon as something that falls in this criteria gets listed, it is going to be here. So you can still quickly go to the listing and make the purchase. So if you are just starting out, you can just watch the screen. So, all right, I think this is what I want. You can add up to 5 collections in a single screen here. So let's actually start processing one of them. I want to enable the alert sound. If you remember, I really want to buy as many at this price, so I just entered 100. I don't even have to toggle this on. Like, you can just keep it toggled off. For this one, I want the system to make the purchase with MetaMask. So it is going to pop up the MetaMask screen for me. And if it initiates the transaction, or if something gets listed here, you will see the process logs here. It will show you if your transaction went through, or it will show you the reason if it fails. And for this one, I want an alert sound as well. I want to use the private key for this one. And if I want to make the system work on the background, so it's going to make the purchase even if I'm sleeping, then I would have to use the private key option. This is quite advanced because you have to make sure what you are doing if you are using this one, because system is going to make the purchase without asking you. So you have to make sure the filters are correct, the trades are correct, and I would say it is probably a smart thing to toggle the stop auto buy feature on. Otherwise, the system is going to just keep making purchase. Maybe you set something like 3 or 5, whatever. There are some advanced options here, which I am not going to go into detail because they are paid.
But what they do is basically they stop the process if the floor goes down below a certain price. Vice versa, if the price goes up to some certain price, or there are some dynamic buying options, whatever. Yeah, there are premium options, so I'm just leaving them out. As I mentioned, you can add up to 5 collections here. And if you wanted to, let's pick another collection. Let's pick Stoner Cats. We already got one and sold one, if you remember. So for this collection, what you can do is you can actually use the ranking. So let's say for first 500, and then you can combine this with traits as well. You can say that it is going to be either, I want something to be either in the first 500 rankings, or I want something which has this kind of rare, I don't know, blue and mouse trait. So this is what you can do. Then you can toggle this on as well. I will say this is one of the major topics in flipping business, especially if you are familiar with the collection. But now I think you can relate all the previous videos and all the topics we talked about. So if you are using this method, probably you would want to know how much that trade is selling for, or how much this ranking, like what was this 309, or the rankings around this have been selling. So then actually I would go to analysis part, check the historical price. I will check on the scatter chart how much the rankings around 300 were being sold. I will check the live sales chart. I would go to the collection page and I would pick those trades and see their own floor price. We all talked about them, if you remember. Then once you are familiar with the collection, combining your previous knowledge, you can take decisions here. At least that's what I do. I'm not going to go into details of every single setting here. For instance, you can go inside, change the header. You can say like top 200, 2500, whatever. You can just play around and find them yourself. As always, if you have any questions, hop over to Discord and shoot them. I'll see you in the next video. In this video, we are going to be talking about the minting now page. In this page, the system shows you the ongoing mints in the NFT world. So I'm just going to explain very briefly what minting is. Minting is, actually let me show you on OpenSea. It's going to be more explanatory. So as you see, these items have just been minted. And how do I know this? If you go to the NFT page and you see it's saying it is minted 4 minutes ago. You see, from null address, this is the user. And if you really want to, you can go ahead to Etherscan and check how much the price, the value of the initial mint, and how much the person paid in gas. So this is basically what a mint is. When a project is first published, in most cases, it is going to be a mint just like this. So in this page, in the minting now page, you see the popular ongoing mints. For instance, there is this Hyundai Metamobility. I had no idea Hyundai was going into the NFT business. However, you can see the new mints here, which can give you a good indicator of what is going on in the NFT world without having to go into every single Discord of this project and find out when the mints are, how many are going to be minted, and what is the real demand for them. So you can pretty much see everything here, and then you can sort them out according to the 1 hour or the given time frame mints. There is a couple of important things here to be sure about. First of all, unique minters is extremely important. One of the reasons for that is there are so many fake mints going on. There is a couple of things here to be careful of. The most important thing is probably the unique minters and the total mints. You already know about this stuff because we have talked them in different sections, but they have the same logic. You would want the unique minters percentage to be high because you want a homogeneous distribution in the project. You wouldn't want 5 people to have 90% of the mints. In that case, the unit minters percentage is going to be lower. And then you wouldn't want to see such little mints here. So if we were to compare Skyverse NFT official with Chonky Chonk's official collection, I would say that probably I would go for Skyverse. And the reason for that is there is the unique minters percentage here, which is 95%, and then there is a lot more mints going on here. Most likely you won't be able to mint everything you see here. For instance, let's go to Hyundai and see what's going on with their collection. I'm just going to go to their web page and see the details. I think it's here. Yep. They probably have a whitelist sale. Let's see. Yeah, it's here. Pre-sale. So right now there is 3,000 registered whitelist members who are minting, and then there is going to be the general sale. You might want to pick something up from the general sale if it is open to public, or you might want to get it from OpenSea directly if there is not a huge price difference. And in this case, it actually tells us the minting price. However, if it didn't, you can find out the mint price just as I showed you in the beginning of the video. Remember, you just you click on this one, you go to Etherscan, and on Etherscan, it shows you the value. So the value is actually correct. This person got it for 0.15 Ethereum. Like in many other NFTinit screens, this is partially free. So you can see what is going on in 1 hour and above. However, 1 minute, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, and 30 minutes are locked for premium users. But if you are just starting out, 1 hour should be more than enough. Just go ahead and enjoy it.
Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to handle the notifications. This is for free and I think it's pretty useful if you are watching collections. Probably it's going to be the last video if I calculated the timing correctly. But if we left out anything, as I always say, feel free to hop into the Discord and ask me anything. I will try to answer them personally as much as I can. So in order to use the notifications, you are just going to pick a collection. It can be on the trending tab or in the research tab. It doesn't really matter. So when you go inside, the system is actually going to ask you to connect your wallet so it can match which user is basically saving which notification. And then on the left panel, you can click on handle notifications icon. Here you can set notifications for floor, volume, sales, and gas price. So assume that you own an NFT from this collection, which is Mind Blown version 2, and you want to sell it as soon as it hits 0.6, let's say. Also, you want to know if the collection is dumping so hard. So you might want to set another notification if the floor price goes below 0.3. By the way, this is free. You can enjoy it. There is limitations on how many you can add, but I think it will be more than enough if you are just starting out. You can do the same for the volume. Because volume actually gives a good indication of what the floor price is going to be. So if the daily volume is actually quite high already, it's a trending collection. However, you want to know if it goes beyond 1,000 Ethereum. You can do the daily sales. You maybe want to see if it is going to double itself. So you can enter 2,800. Also, you might want to do the exact opposite. You might want to see if the sales are slowing down. So you can also put a notification setting for 1,000. And then finally, there is the gas. This is global, by the way. The others are collection bound. However, gas is global. The idea behind gas notification is maybe you want to make a purchase. However, you are not in a rush. So you only want to make the purchase when the gas price is below 30. So if you enter 30 here and say less than, the system is going to let you know when the gas price drops below 30. Usually, actually, the gas is quite nice here. It is 24. Usually on the weekends, gas is a little bit cheaper. Actually, not a little bit. It is quite cheaper compared to weekdays. However, overall, you might want to wait and do your transactions if they are not urgent, obviously, when the gas price is low, just like now. And when you set your notifications up, the system is going to walk you through to Telegram, and you will get your notifications on Telegram. I hope the videos were helpful for you guys. I tried to stay out of promoting NFTinit.com as much as I could. However, of course, I went through some premium settings just in order to show you how a little bit advanced users do their stuff as well. This is pretty much what I could fit into 2 hours. So let me know what you guys liked, what you didn't like, and also let me know if you would like to watch a more advanced series. Of course, after you get a little bit familiar with flipping NFTs and trading NFTs. I'm waiting for your feedback, guys. As I mentioned more than once, don't forget to join the Discord. There we can chat and I can directly take the feedback from you. Have a good one. I wish you guys have happy trades and happy flips.